Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. The topic of today's webinar is Understanding Service Accrual for the Members. I'm Beverly Snyder. I'm the Account Services Manager here at the Retirement Office, and today I'm going to walk you through a lot of the key points that you need to understand in regards to how your employees are accruing their service. Before we get going, let's talk about a couple of important facts. Number one, retirement pensions are based on the years of service that are earned and the age at the time of retirement. So based on this, you can clearly understand why accruing service correctly is so important. Another fact that I want to point out to you is that an employee can only earn 1 year of service per year. So even if they are working for multiple employers at the same time, they still can only earn 1 year of service. Now, if they're working for multiple employers, the salary that they're earning still comes into play as far as their final average salary, but as far as the service goes, only 1 year per year. As I go out and I do trainings and I talk to employers on the phone and I do compliance reviews, I always get a lot of questions from the employers. Why is my employee missing service? Why can't my employees see their savings contributions when they log in to their personal accounts? And why does the employee service not match the employment period? These are all very good questions, and maybe you guys have some of the same thoughts, but as we go through today's presentation, we're going to answer some of these questions. How do employees accrue their service? Employees accrue service when they are employed in a position that meets eligibility requirements for retirement benefits. Now, service accrual can be with any participating employer across the state. So we have over 475 employers. So if I work for you for 5 years and then I terminate my position and then I go to work for another employer for 5 years and terminate that position, my service just keeps going. It just keeps adding and adding as long as I'm working for a participating employer. So let's talk about service accrual because you, the employer, are the important key when it comes to your employees accruing their service. Service accrual is based on employer reporting. And when I say employer reporting, I'm talking about the contribution file that you should be submitting to our office. You, the employer, get to decide how often you're going to submit that report. Although the report should match your payroll periods, you can report to us monthly, semi-monthly, or bi-weekly. You make that selection and then we flag your account here in the retirement office designating which election you have made. If you select to report to us monthly, then we are expecting 12 contribution files a year to come in from you. Semi-monthly, it would be 24. Bi-weekly, it would be 26. So you can see my numbers here. The way that it works is if you are an employer and you select to have a bi-weekly contribution period, that means we're expecting 26 files to come in from you during the calendar year. And as you can see up here, if you are a bi-weekly employer, every time you submit a file for your employees, they earn a certain percentage of their credits. So in this case, with our example, bi-weekly, that employee would receive 0.039 credits per pay period. And when you submit that 26 file at the end of the year, your employees should all have 1 year of service. So you can see the questions on the previous screen. Why doesn't my employee see all of their service? Maybe you've missed them on a pay period. If I am working the full year, I have to receive 26 contributions in order to get to my 1 year. If you miss me on any of those files, then I am not going to total 1 year at the end of the year. The same goes for the monthly and the semi-monthly. You have to report for me, matching the payroll period that you have selected. So what are the employer's responsibilities? Again, you have to designate a reporting frequency: monthly, semi-monthly, bi-weekly. You should be submitting your contribution files in the same frequency as your payroll. Service credits are posted to your employee accounts each time you submit a file. This is important because the second question that we talked about, why can't I see my savings plans, my savings plan money? Well, if you don't submit a file to our office and follow up with the ACH payment, that money is never going to get posted to your employee accounts. Nothing gets posted to the account until the file and the money come to our office. This becomes a big issue at the end of each calendar year. We frequently will get phone calls from your employees saying, hey, wait a minute, I don't see my December 401k contributions in my account at the end of the calendar year. And then what we have to do is go in and say, well, your employer hasn't submitted that file yet. Therefore, it can't be posted to the account. So just a side note to remember, your employees don't see their service or their savings contribution until you, the employer, submit the contribution report and the ACH payment. Make sure that you remember that any time you miss a reporting period for one of your employees on the statement coming in, the contribution file coming into our office, you have to do an adjustment and correct that. You can't leave a missing hole there for those employees. Really important to understand. We do look at these when we're doing compliance reviews. Your employees should be looking for this when they review their statements, and you, the employer, should have a way to ensure that you're reporting all of your current employees on that file. So let's look at an example of what I'm talking about. Here's a contribution file, and in this one, so let me tell you, this is a salary statement in our office. The column on the left shows your period end dates. The column in the middle, that's the salary that you report to us when you submit your files. We don't put these numbers in. These come directly from you. But each time we go in and we post one of these salaries that you send in for the period end date, you can see out to the right, as soon as we post that file, that employee earns their service, and at the end of the year, that service should equal 1. Well, it looks like what happened in this situation is it looks like we combined 3 payroll periods into one. If you combine multiple payroll periods into one report, that employee, if you look out to the right, they are still only receiving 1 month of service credit. When you send your file in to us, that is 1 period end date, they get 1 unit of their service. What should this file look like? Right here. You need to make sure that you're breaking your salaries out into the pay periods that the employee earned the money, so that when those contributions are posted, then the service is automatically posted out to the right. If you notice with this employee, now you look down, this employee has 1 year of service. Okay, let's do another example. Here we have an employee. It appears that this employee is making $1,412 per month per pay period, and this is a monthly reporting cycle. But look, in February, it looks like I got forgotten. So if we look down, it looks like, oh, okay, they forgot me in February, but look, they put me down in March. Well, they put me down in March, but guess what? I still only got 1 month of service, even though in March they reported for 2 pay periods. So if you look down at the bottom at my service credits, I do not equal 1 year of service. This is what it should look like. If you forget to report me 1 month, I need that service. Don't lump me into another month. Send that contribution in as an adjustment so that your employee gets the service where they need that service to be. Okay, here's what it should look like. We've gotten it all corrected. Now if you look at the bottom, I have 1 year of service. So a few tips for the employers in order to keep all of your employees' service on track. Number one, again, never combine payroll periods when you're reporting. Like our example, if you forget to report me in one payroll period, call your account analyst and fix that employment period, that pay period as an adjustment. Don't lump my payroll earnings together. Number two, contact URS if you miss an employee's payroll period. It can always be corrected. That's why we have an adjustments team. Never put your earnings together. And number three, complete all of the adjustments for your members in a timely manner. If you realize that you've forgotten to report something, or maybe you didn't get me started in the pay period that you hired me, call your account analyst, know who your account analyst is, and give them a call and let them help you. So this is everything that I needed you to understand regarding service accrual for your employees. Just to recap, their retirement is based on the number of service accrual years that they get. You, the employer, are the one that is most responsible for making sure that their service is posted into the correct periods. So we ask that the employees look at their statement. If they don't see all of their service that is correct, then we ask that they contact our office or contact you. We ask that you review your contribution file before you submit them to make sure that you have everybody on there. And the minute you realize that you did not report somebody correctly, make sure that you let us know so that we can get that corrected. You don't want to wait until the end when the employees are trying to retire to realize that we missed service somewhere. In the compliance reviews, we do test samples and we do look at all of their service, so we might be able to catch it there, but really the bulk of the responsibility lies on the employer's shoulders. That's the quick and easy version of how your employees accrue service. If you have any questions on doing it differently, or if you have any questions on anything we've talked about today, here's a few resources for you. Matt Judd is the director of the Employer Services Department. James Hammer is our Records Control Manager. He can always provide you assistance. And again, I'm Beverly Snyder. I'm the Account Services Manager. So myself or any members of the compliance team or your posting tech or your account analyst, all of us are here to assist you if you have any questions regarding the accrual of service credits for your employees. We thank you for all of the hard work that you do to make sure that your employees get their service put into place. We know that this is a very time-consuming job, and we here at URS appreciate everything that you, the employers, do to make the retirement process for your members as easy as possible. Again, if you have any questions, please contact us. We are here in the Employer Services Department, and thank you for joining us today.